Should be. Hello, everyone. Hello. I got a wonderful guest today. Unfortunately, for the Detroit Press Play, my partner is not in today. She had to work, and she's sorry that she missed, you know, our guest because she definitely wants to be a part of it. So she may join us. Her name is Diavier Mamone. So she will be trying to look here and there, but she still may be at work. So, hello everyone. Hello viewers. Looks like somebody popped in and more will come. We have an exciting, amazing, I'm going to say amazing guest today, Miss Ann Winbush. She is the founder of Winbush and Company. Am I correct?
Yes, Winbush
All
and
right.
Co. Yes.
All right. And you got, of course, you got always Lisa G, founder of Detroit Press Play. What's up? What's up out there? I know some of you are getting off of work. So what better way can you spend getting off of work than joining our podcast? This woman here is powerful. She showed me some things just in discussion of how to change your entire life around. And so I don't want to waste a lot of time. I do want to welcome everybody that's joining us today. And I want you to give a better introduction of yourself. Who can introduce you better than you?
Well, hello, Detroit Press Play. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Ann Winbush. My brand is Hair Stylist to Investor. And as Lisa has already told you, I'm the founder of Winbush and Co. That is a parent company because over the stretch of 30 plus years in the entrepreneur world, plus now we have my children and my husband, it was too much to talk about in one setting. So if you go to winbushsolutions.com, you will see all the whole suite of what we have to offer. I was a hairstylist for 30 plus years, went into real estate investing. I've owned a boutique, and we are now moving into the educational space so we can really share our journey. Let me not forget to mention the Airbnbs that we've had. Was a game changer in becoming a host, learning hospitality, and now learning it in a different way. So I'm excited to dive into this and just share my journey with you all.
Yes, we welcome you because around the age of 40, really before then, you need to start thinking about how you're going to do it, what you're going to do with your money. What changes are you going to make? Because these jobs, they're just that, a job, right? You want to be happy in the things that you're doing and you want your income to produce income. These jobs can say, hey, today is your last day. Then what? You need to have something going for yourself. And I want to stop and shout out Stephanie, the insurance lady, because she is the one that told me, hey, reach out to Ann Winbush. I'm telling you, you'll love her. She needs to be on the podcast sharing all that she knows. And like I said, this probably should be a 3-part series or something because just listening to you yesterday, it was like, okay, we started talking about one thing, guys, and then it led to something else. But she has a wealth of knowledge, and I'm glad that she chose Detroit Press Play to share her information on. So again, welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yes, thank you. We grew up together, so we go way back.
Oh, good. Yeah, she's good people. I
Yes.
want to start off at your beginning. So you're doing hair, and what was that pivotal moment that said, okay, I don't want to do hair anymore. I need to do something else to earn my money.
So if we start off at the very beginning, we have to start off with all my side hustles, and that's at 12 years old. So
Okay.
we had an adversity. I grew up in adversity. We had a situation occur in our home where my father had to leave, and my mother is doing her very best. And ends just couldn't, we were financially insecure to say the least. And I looked around one Christmas after making her cry because I didn't get the stuff I wanted underneath the tree. And I
Yes.
decided at 12 years old, I have to do something. So I began to work for a family owned business. My aunt and uncle had boutique, and I used to cut fabric at 12 years old. I was starting to do hair, learning how to do it by the time I was 14. I had a full clientele. So if we I did that for 30 years. What
Mm-hmm.
made me pivot was honestly my son in 2012 had brain surgery. I never thought that I would ever leave hair. But it was at that point where God showed me that you can walk away after being out of the salon for 3 weeks. I finally understood that I could leave hair and go and move into the vision that He had placed in my heart, that hair was just a foundation for me to learn how to be a leader, how to manage other people, how to manage my own self, not to take things personal, how to man my own business. See, I
That's
had to
right.
develop a skill set in the hair in that salon. God really changed it to a ministry, because not only did He develop me as an entrepreneur, but He developed me as a minister, and He began to marry all that together. And that is what pivoted me out of hair into real estate investing, because I had to find that thing. First, I tried a boutique. Uh, Inventory is where your money goes to die. So you really, really have to understand that business. But then we landed on entrepreneurship because I had a desire for a family-owned business. And this is where real estate investing came into being.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you take a class or, real estate? I tried to get into it and I knew right then and there, everything is not your lane. I was in the wrong lane because it wasn't something I was passionate about either. And I think for me, I have to be passionate in order to be interested.
I completely understand. I'm gonna recommend you read Fast Lane Millionaire by MJ DeMarco. That is an amazing book. Fast Lane Millionaire by MJ DeMarco. It really, really opened my eyes to help me to see, because I felt the same way like you. I used to say all the time, love what you do and do what you love. Well, that's
Yeah,
not always the case.
that's right.
It's not always the case. And I have a framework. I have so many frameworks, but I have a framework that goes from pain to passion, from passion to purpose, from purpose to pleasure. We like to do things in reverse. And so we like to start with pleasure. We want to do everything that make us feel good. But that's because we came from pain. Most of us have overcome some sort of trauma. And so
Hmm.
when I looked at real estate investing, the first glimpse I had was as a child. I had an uncle who was also my godfather who was in real estate. He was one, you remember them cell phones in the bags?
Yes, when they first came out, early
Exactly.
80s.
He used to have one of them. So I'm like, what does he do? I saw
Uh-huh.
him buy an apartment building. I saw him open up a video store like Blockbuster, but a mom and pop type grocery store. So I'm seeing it, but not fully understanding it. My uncle was actually the first one that gave me an opportunity at 22 years old to buy my first property.
Mm.
At 24, I bought a second property from him, still not having a full education. So, what did I do this time before I got into real estate? January of 2018, I studied real estate for 9 months. I studied wholesaling. I studied lease options. I studied rent to own. I studied landlording. I studied, except for Airbnb. Every time somebody brought that up, I rejected that thing. I had so much resistance. Even my son said, Mom, you should do Airbnb. I said, having people stay up in my house? No. The Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge.
That's right.
Knowledge has two parts: to know, but also to know how. Your brain wants to keep you safe. That's one of its primary functions, is to keep you safe. So the
Mhm.
moment that it hears something that's not familiar, it rejects that thing. So you put up a wall of resistance. And that's what I did with Airbnb, which ultimately is the thing that I ended up getting into at the end. So we
Now,
still have, yeah, we have a mixed bag of long-term, mid-term, and short-term rentals right now.
okay. So, are these properties that you're getting, because I hear of people getting into Airbnb in the business, but they don't necessarily own the property. I'm not sure what that's quite about, but these people are saying they're making money off of doing this business. But how can you affiliate yourself with something like that, and you don't even own the property?
So I'm
There's a
so
secret.
happy. No secret. Back to my people perish for a lack of knowledge. So, because God is our Father, we
Mm-hmm.
have ownership rights. We are a resource, He is the source. You do not have to own everything to control it. I own a hair salon, but I don't own that plaza, and I still run my business out of it.
Okay, that makes
So,
sense.
Airbnb arbitrage is what it's called, and it's the same concept.
You said
You have to
Airbnb.
arbitrage. It's
Okay.
the exact same concept. You
Okay.
are partnering with a landlord and they're allowing you to run your business out of it. Now, we started in 2019 and my daughter went through the back door, which she wasn't honest because people kept rejecting us. I like to go to the front door, okay? I'm not trying to go through no
I
back
want to look
doors.
over my shoulder. Yeah.
Yes, because this is right before COVID comes in. But I'm gonna tell you all this. We were only in business that November 2019.
Mm-hmm.
That first year, we had already did almost $50,000. By the time the second year came in, we were at 100 and something thousand. Fourth year, $250,000. By the time of 2024 comes in, I've learned how not to just arbitrage, but we own properties too, mind you. In
Right.
2018, we bought properties, but we bought two properties for cash, and then another property we got a mortgage on. By the time we decided to go into Airbnb, and that's my husband and I buying the long-term rental. 2019, my oldest daughter and I began to do real estate investing together. We were at a meeting at a down Detroit at the auction, and a young gentleman was sitting behind me, and he was like, "Do you guys do Airbnb?" I was like, "No, we don't do no Airbnb," and he laughed at me. Is he laughing at me?
Mm.
I said, he got to know something I don't know. And I asked him, I said, well, where's your property? He said, it's around the corner. When we left that auction, we went around the corner because he was willing to show us, because I don't meet no strangers, okay? He
Uh-huh.
took us through his place. And when I saw the setup, I'm like, my daughter and I looked at each other like, we could do this. And we did. Within a month's time, we had our first Airbnb open. And that first one, I was on a show in 2018 called Welcome Home as an interior designer. At the end of that show, I was instructed by God to buy all these accent pieces, artwork, and all this. And I don't know why at the time, but I
Mm-hmm.
do it. So by the time we get to November of 2019, opening up the first Airbnb, all we needed was an additional $2,000 to stage the home because I had already had all the other stuff.
Okay.
Back in 2019, you also could use an air mattress in the bedroom. You can't do that now. The landscape has truly changed.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Air mattress. I can see why you can't. I think I can see why. Um. So it must be lucrative. That's all I can say.
So I'm going to tell you this. It is not real estate investing. Airbnb is hospitality. Hospitality requires a whole nother set of skills. The skills that I developed in the hair salon were perfect to transition into hospitality, the Airbnb game.
Mhm.
One, I love writing. So it allowed me to write the descriptions and all of that. I could get creative. This is before I knew anything about AI helping me write. But I
Whole nother
enjoyed
game
myself.
changer.
Yeah. Oh, yes. But you have to make sure that you don't take things personal. I had to understand it is lucrative and can be. I'm gonna tell you this. each property can make you $40,000. We had one property in our portfolio that made $90,000. I'm saying 1 year, 1
Mm,
year.
mm-hmm.
And so, yes, it can be quite lucrative. However, just like any business, there are slow seasons, and so you have to prepare for that. We co-host too, so that property that I'm telling you that made 90,000 is a co-hosted property. So we get 25% of that,
Okay, and
and
that
and and don't spend a dime in it.
okay, so that co-hosting, just for the viewers and for myself because I'm new to this, right? You're teaching me something.
Yes.
That is the property that you don't own, but it's for the landlord, correct?
No, that's
Okay.
arbitrage. So co-hosting is you have a landlord that owns the property and they want to be a hands-off Airbnb host. So they hire you to manage their property, for a word that's maybe more familiar with people. You're just managing the property for the owner. So in our case, we charge a fee to come in, set it up, and do everything for you. We list it, we show you how to do it. From that point, they can take it over or they can hire us. We'll take care of the cleaning aspect of it, but you have to give us 25%. That's bare minimum. In some cases, it may be even more, but we're not taking any less than 25%.
Okay.
And we'll run the whole thing for you. There are times where the owner has to step in for whatever reason. Sometimes an Airbnb is always changing, and that's the other thing. There's something called multi-platform. You do not want to have a business that is controlled by one entity, because Airbnb can shut your money down when they get ready to. And believe me, they have.
Oh yeah.
A guest can complain, can make up a whole story because they have, and your whole listing is shut down. So you want to make sure that you're doing something called multi-platform. What that
Mhm.
means, you're not just on Airbnb, you're maybe on VRBO, maybe you're on Pure Space, maybe you take direct bookings also,
Okay.
and
That
so
makes
forth and so
sense.
on. There are
That
many,
makes
many platforms out there. That's just to name a few.
okay. Okay, so that's interesting. I hope the viewers are watching because she is dropping so much knowledge and she has so much more to tell you guys. So pay attention. If you're looking at different ways of earning revenue, bringing in revenue for your family, she's it. She's telling you. All right, all right. So, is there anything else we should know about the Airbnb business?
Lisa, yes. Just from what you said, I want people to know this. You can start with what you have. Use what you have in your hand. That cell phone you have and that empty bedroom that's in your home that you already live in, rent that out. It's something we use a model. It's called rent by the room. And I love this model because it really touches on affordable housing. And we have quite a few properties where, if anyone doesn't understand, the person is not renting out the entire home. They are renting out a room with a bed in it, television. In some of our properties, we have sofas in the room if they're large enough, a desk, and a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
And the common areas, the bathroom, the kitchen, and the living area, everyone has access to that area. We put a smart lock on the bedroom door, so they get a code to the front door or a key, and then also a code to their bedroom. And people rent that out. Typically, in that type of setting, you can make $1,200 a room. That's what we've seen on average
And that's per month, right?
per month per room.
Hmm. So there's some ideas, people. You got rooms. I probably wouldn't do it, especially for my personal home, but an additional property, yes. I mean, look at if you had like a 3, 4 bedroom, that's good money. Now, places to get your property from. Do you Have you been on like Land Bank? What's your thoughts on Land Bank?
So I have tried Land Bank. Land Bank has a lot of restrictions, and it's as far as being an investor versus being a retail buyer or owning a home. An investor, they treat you slightly different. I have not had any success with Land Bank or when the city auctions come up. I haven't had any success with that. But I can tell you a success story that I've had where I was able to do a quick claim deed on a property. If people don't know what a quick claim deed is, and you please do a background check because people can quick claim deed you anything, and they say they have ownership rights to that place
And
and
they
they
don't.
don't own anything. So you
Mhm.
have to make sure that I have a really good title company that I have a relationship with, and so I just give them the information. They do the background check to make sure that individual actually does own the property. And so that is the essence of a quick claim deed. So how did I get this property that I bought for $7,000 in the city of Detroit? Not off a land bank, not off from the city auction, not from foreclosure, even though the home was going into foreclosure. This was from a guest who stayed with us, and I never meet a stranger. I am always telling someone what I do. That's a nugget for you all. Always
Market.
tell people what you are doing. Always
Yes.
do that. And so I'm asking her, like, hey, why are you here? And she was like, oh, I'm here to take my dad back. She was like, and we're gonna sell his home. I'm waiting to connect with a real estate agent. I said, oh, really? I said, I'm a real estate investor. Look no further. Give me that address.
I would have too. I would have too. I would have
And
too.
so And so I go to the property. Now, if you all know anything about negotiation, please don't speak. Do your numbers. So do your homework. You have to know the ARV, the after repair value. You have to understand and know, like when you walk a property, how does the roof look? What do the windows look like? What's the age of the heart of the home? So the furnace, your hot water tank, the electrical, the plumbing. You need to make sure you're educating yourself, or you need an experienced person to go with you. I've been doing this for quite some time. Like I said, I started buying properties at 22 years old. So I'm very familiar, and I DIY. I look, these hands get quite busy, okay? I love creating. And so I already knew that. So I went through the property and I had my number in mind, but as in negotiation, you never speak first. I don't care if they won't give you a number. You wait. And if they
Silence.
refuse, yep, if they refuse to give you a number, I want you to give a number that makes you feel embarrassed to say it.
Hmm.
You go that low
Okay.
that it
That's what
make
I was
you
going to
feel
ask you.
embarrassed. Then you know you at the right point. But I didn't have to do that. She's the one that said $7,000. That's exactly what I was thinking. So we were right in the same vein with that, on the same page. And I didn't know how to do a quick claim deed. This was my first time.
Okay.
But because I have been a real estate investor all this time, guess what I got to do? Pull out my phone. The second nugget that I'm telling you is build relationships. Go to these meetups. Make sure that you're in the room with the right people, because when I hit a brick wall and I didn't know how to acquire this property because the first way we were doing it fell through. That's why in real estate too, you got to have more than one plan.
Yes, you
Everything
do.
does not go according to plan. So I was able to go on my phone, call my friend. She hooked me up with her friend. He sent me over the paperwork to do the quick claim deed and walk me through the whole thing. And we got this deal done. It took months too, you all. So I'm telling you this story in 30 seconds. But this took from September all the way to April to close. And she wanted to back out at points. Somebody else was offering her $15,000. But I praise God, it was two daughters wanting to take care of their dads. She was
Okay.
moving her dad out, and I was moving my dad in. And
Okay.
that connected us. See, proximity and similarity sometimes is all the difference. And she was a
Yes.
person of her word because I'm a person of my word. So you attract what you are.
That's right. I love
If
it.
you,
I love it.
yeah, if you don't want people lying to you, how about you stop lying?
Yeah, I like that one. That need to be on a shirt, right? So, I always tell people too, networking is important. I go to events that I don't even want to go to, just so I can be with the right people in the right room. I mean, so
Yes.
that's very important. Um, my goodness. So I guess I should now ask you. I don't know what happened to you. You still here with us? Hmm. I don't know what happened to my guest, y'all. I think she'll be joining us again. But so far, I'm hoping that if you guys have questions, you have any questions, feel free to chime in. I have a chat up. Make sure that you ask those questions. She's a wealth of knowledge. This is someone again that went from doing hair to investing. Here she comes.
I know what to do. And my
Oh,
phone is on do not disturb. I'm telling y'all, I am learning to be a techie person. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it one day. So
yes.
yes.
Well, I'm glad you're back with us. I was just telling people if they have questions, feel free. I've got the chat open. We can definitely answer questions while she's here. But I'm sure she's going to share how you can reach out to her. I did share her website information. You guys go in the chat and get her website information. This lady has a lot of knowledge. And so I noticed from the information that you sent, you said that you were looking for families that wanted to be entrepreneurs. 5,000, if that's correct.
Yes. Yes.
So, can you tell us more about that? What is it that you do when you support families? Because I know you're a business coach. That's another thing. I'm a
Yes.
business consultant. She's the coach. And so, if you could share with us about your coaching and your mentorship with these families that want to be entrepreneurs. And I want to discuss for the person who feels like, "Yeah, I would love to do all of these things, but I really don't have the finances for it." Because it sounds like, if I'm listening to you, it sounds like this woman had a lot of money, so she was able to invest. But sometimes that's not the case, and it's discouraging.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Yeah. So one of the missions that I have, I also have a foundation that I'm starting, a nonprofit. It's called Detroit Forward Foundation. And I want, my mission is to reach 5,000 families, one heart, one home, and one neighborhood at a time. I want to make sure that I am helping people transform their mindset, their money story, so they can create generational change. It is time for us to have Black wealth and to transfer it to the next generation, that our children don't have to start from ground level. So my educational Winbush and Co, that educational company, is set forth to do that. I have a free Facebook group that I want you all to go and join, because a mindset shift does not happen overnight. It's called Liquid Millionaire Circle.
Well, let me type it for them. Liquid.
Millionaire Circle. It is a free Facebook group. Liquid Millionaire Circle. So, why I created this group is because, just like me, so many others in our community have not had an education around finances. And most of us are financially insecure, as I stated when we started off. We're poor. We are literally poor when we grow up. We own welfare. We have single family homes. I grew up in the 80s where crack came into our neighborhoods and ravished the whole thing, where
Yes.
you have other cultures coming in, owning all the grocery stores, all the liquor stores, and they selling the liquor to us. So I grew up in that. And when
Yes.
I'm looking around and I'm seeing who's driving the nice cars, living in the fancy houses, they don't look like me. I
Absolutely.
said, I have to do something about this. But for so many years, I was doing the right thing the wrong way. Because again, when no one is teaching you and you being resourceful, you just grabbing it and trying to put all the pieces together by yourself. God says it ain't good for man to be alone. You
Mm-hmm.
can go fast by yourself, but you're gonna make so many mistakes. You can go far together, but still, you still gonna have some gaps, some blind spots. In order to go fast, far, you need to go as a community.
Yes.
You need to make sure that you are joined up with like-minded people. So many people have unbelievers, haters, people telling them what they cannot do, what they will not accomplish, and making them feel like they're not enough. Like I said earlier, you can start anything with what you have in your hand, but you do have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to do some things that feel uncomfortable. So if you want to make extra revenue, like I said with the Airbnb thing, you already own a home. You already have an extra bedroom. You already got sheets on that bed. Towel is in the linen closet. A TV in the room. You got all you need. Put the
Yes.
room on Airbnb. Go study. Start at the smallest minute level possible. Prove the concept, because maybe you actually do like to be in the community and you just don't know it. Maybe you go stay at somebody else's house while your house is being rented out. That's one aspect, one way that you can do this. The other way is wholesaling. So when I got into this, I studied for 9 months, like I said, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because I don't know what I'm doing. And so I
Okay.
figured wholesaling was the smallest minute level possible. Only thing it cost me was some band designs. You can go get band designs. You can make them if you want to. You can make signs, put up posters from the Dollar Tree, put them on some sticks, put them in some grass. We buy houses for cash. Get a Google phone number. Guess what? That's free too.
That's free. Google Voice.
Yes. Put that
Mhm.
on your sign and make sure that you answer that phone when it rings. You have to understand the criteria though. What qualifies you having a good deal? So you got to get with a coach. Or you have to study. When you get with a coach, you are going to shrink that timeline. But if
Okay.
you don't have money, you have to have time. So it means get in the right rooms with the right people that are join. You can go on Facebook, join some real estate investing uh groups. You have
Hmm.
so much, but this is the problem. Sometimes we have so much knowledge, it paralyzes us.
Absolutely.
We don't know what to do. And that's another reason why it's so good when you are partnered with someone and they can give you immediate feedback.
And
When
someone
you're
with experience, I would say too.
Oh, this is why I'm saying a coach.
Hmm.
Yes. When you have a coach that has a proven track record, and that's why I'm doing it, it's really been laying on my heart to do Airbnb tours where I take my students to my property, because as a landlord, I can turn a kitchen around for less than $500. A 1970s kitchen. You can
Hmm.
go on my Instagram, Ann Winbush. You should see that in there somewhere. But yes, I can turn that around for $500. I can make shaker style cabinets. Excuse me, shaker
Hmm.
style cabinets with pieces of wood that I glue on, sand, and paint. And I can literally take you in the property. I can tile over tile, okay, in a
Oh,
bathroom, because I've learned how to do this where I'm not ripping everything out and it looks beautiful in the end. So you're saving so much money. There is a big difference as a real estate investor between fix and flips and buy and hold. A lot of times people are getting these buy and hold properties and they're treating them like a fix and flip. You're not getting your money back. By the time it's time to sell that property, everything you put in there is going to be outdated.
that's right. And so this is wholesaling. This is what we're going into now. Just want to make sure people that are just joining, those that are, not aware of what we're talking about, wholesaling.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I'm still talking about Airbnb, using what you have. You don't need no money because you already have a room. I'm talking about wholesaling, creating some flyers. You do need about $5 to go get you some markers and some little boards from the Dollar Tree that you can put outside. You can get some sticks, they free outside. Stick them through there and put them out. Put them up on the stop signs. You can
Mm-hmm.
tie it to that with some ribbon or something you already have at home. Get creative. But that's only two ways. The other way I'm telling you, when it comes to fix and flip, guess what? You don't have to have no money doing that either. You can bring together the person who has the money and you can manage the project.
Hmm.
And then you can split the difference. If you are a real estate agent, or you can partner with the real estate agent if you have a good eye for design, or if you take a little while to learn. They have something called quantum learning. It's when you spend at least 15 minutes a day dialing in and focusing in on one specific skill set. And
Mm-hmm.
within 30 days, you can actually become pretty good at it if you just dial in and study just that thing.
And
So
where can
what
they
I'm saying,
find,
you can,
I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry, say it again.
where can they find the quantum learning?
It's just a phrase. You just have to
Okay.
Google it.
Okay.
Yep. It's just a new phrase that they're using, but it's just saying small increments of learning over a small window of time to
Okay.
get yourself acclimated to a new skill.
Okay.
So
All right.
yes, but if you can partner with a real estate agent, you can actually she can sell. So you can find someone whose house is an expired listing on the MLS, so like Zillow, and say, hey, partner with that real estate agent. Hey, I know how to do design. I know how to do DIYs. I know why this person's home is not selling. So allow me to come in, make these changes. So maybe they have some ugly brown or green. Brown is in, so let me not use brown. Maybe some peach paint on the wall. And you know, if they painted that wall white, change those doors to black, that they could get more money for that property. If they put furniture in the property, artwork on the walls, and stage the home, that they could get it sold. So sometimes people don't want to do the work, or they don't have the knowledge how to fix their home up so they can get the dollar amount they want. But that
Mm-hmm.
that listen, it's so many. This is I'm only in the other way. You could do something uh for sale. It's for sale by owner, where
Mm-hmm.
you come in and do I can't even think of the word right now. It's escaping my mind because I haven't done it yet, and I typically, but it's still a strategy. Uh, Forget it. I can't. It's all different creative finance ways to buy properties. You all to get started. If you have any type of credit, you can leverage your credit cards. When I'm telling you, you can get creative in this industry. So saying that you have no money, guess what? You can go on Poshmark, you can go on Whatnot, and start selling stuff out your home to get the cash you need. You know
To
you
get the
got too
cash
many
you
clothes
need.
in the closet. Anyways.
That's right. Some need to set and get sold, okay?
Yes.
So, I mean, she's dropping so many nuggets. You have Sybil D that says she loves your mission. And then you have Stephanie Harris watching. You have
Hey, Steph.
Marquita that says absolutely. So you're correct on something that you said. I didn't catch it in time, but definitely she's in agreement with you. Um, these are nuggets, people. Listen, it's time for us to learn what they already knew. That's what I say. It's always some time we have to settle down. We don't have to be everywhere every day. Sometimes you need to focus on what it is you need to be doing. I am so adamant about people learning what to do at a later stage in life because you only get one try at it, right? We only get one life. So it's time to learn. They don't teach us this in school, unfortunately. I know I didn't learn it.
You
So,
are right.
and
You
it
are
sounds
right.
like, for me, it sounds like you did a lot of self educating yourself. Um, focusing and learning what it was you were going to do and how you were going to impact your family, not just you, but your family.
Yes, most definitely. So if I'm honest, because of my beginning, my self-esteem was very, very low. I did not have any confidence in myself. By the time I'm 24, I meet Jesus, and God is like, look, you can borrow my confidence. And I'm telling anybody out there that's listening, he got plenty of it. You do not need
Absolutely.
yours to start off. But I had to begin to heal those wounds from my childhood. Because what happens is when you're operating from a place of pain, you are very resistant to change. And so sometimes you can put your own self in handcuffs and not realize that's what you're doing, that you're stopping your own growth because of your mindset. So, like you said, I had to first change my mindset and become the woman who could do that thing. I had to understand and know I wasn't starting from scratch, that I had a skill set that I had started developing from 12 years old that I could transfer into a new industry and I could learn. My
Yes.
mindset wasn't fixed and I could learn. I have a degree in
Yes.
social work too. So, yes, I've been quite busy.
You've been busy. You've been busy. And that's a good thing. Busy is good. Marquita Harris Doss says childhood trauma is real. And a lot of times with that, we step in our own way. We didn't see it coming up. I didn't see my mom, having all of these things. I didn't see my grandmother having all of these things. So in my mind coming up, I can't do it either. That was my mindset. I had to change that. So I get it. Definitely get it. I want to talk about I want to go back to your business coaching. So many people need people like you and like myself. Um, Coaching is important because you can have all the money you want, you can put it where you want, but what you're going to do with it and how you're going to move. That's important. If nobody shows you, you're going to waste that money. I see it
Yeah.
so much. People are like, well, I got the money to do this, but yeah, you don't know how to operate. So here's where the coach comes in. And let's
Yes.
talk about that. So are you going to be doing like classes or
So my plan right now, if they go to my stand store, they'll see where they have three different tiers where they can ask me a question. Like right now, they can ask me a question. That's only $10. You can get on a call with me. I'll ask you 5 questions to help you get clarity so you can make a decision to move forward. All I need you to do is take one positive step forward towards your goal. And then I have $1,000 coaching one-on-one call. And that one, I'm gonna give you 4 lessons, but I'm gonna go deep. You think we gonna go deep and then we gonna go wide. And when you leave me, you will have an infrastructure on how to move forward. Who am I? Why am I doing this? And how do I invest my money? Because money is touching every aspect of our lives. And if you
yes, it
don't
is.
understand money, if you don't realize that money is a tool, most of us been taught we need money just to pay our bills. Most of us are like, I just need to pay my bills. So I go to work, I pay my bills, and when I look, I don't have nothing left.
Check the
And
check.
that is where that's a big misnomer that is out here. We have to understand we have to pay ourselves first. And that don't mean you go buy you a new Gucci bag when you get your tax return. That is not paying yourself first. Paying yourself first is making sure that you are investing in things that will bring you new money. Money wants to produce after its own. Everything likes to produce after its own kind. Humans produce after their own kind. An apple tree
Mm-hmm.
produces after its own kind. Guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Money wants to do the same thing. But if you're not allocating your money properly, it's going to run from you.
That's
It don't
right.
want to stick around with somebody that's going to abuse it.
That's
So,
important.
yes, you have to learn how to become a good steward of your money. There are really 5 stages to building wealth. And it's one, before I even get to them stages, to actually accept the fact if you are in financially insecure place, to accept it. Stop trying to fake it, going to get the Jordans, going to get the fake Gucci bags, going to get the expensive car that you know you can't afford and ain't got no insurance on, praying that you don't get into an accident when you on the street. Been there, done that. How do I know? Trying to keep up with the Joneses because you feel like you have something to prove, because you don't feel like you have status. I want y'all to know this. You are a child of the Most High God, and that's all the status you will ever need. You have ownership rights. He has given it to you, but he cannot. The Bible says a fool and his money will soon depart.
Mm-hmm.
We have to apply wisdom. So it means you need to get in the room with wise people so you can learn and know what you didn't learn. So let me quickly go over these 5 stages of wealth, if that's okay with you.
Oh, yes. Yep.
The first one is financial stability. This is, you actually can pay your light bill. We got that one checked off. The next one is is strategies. You're actually learning how to invest the money. The next one is financial security. Those investments are making money for you. After that, financial freedom. You actually have cash flow. Cash flow is coming in and it's actually enough to satisfy everything. If you make money while you sleep, basically. Airbnb, y'all. I'm telling y'all, you make money while you sleep. That's not the only online. Look, I went from brick and mortar to online orders. You can make money while you sleep. The last stage of financial wealth, building financial wealth, is financial abundance. This is the stage that you become that founder. You begin to put things in place where you begin to allocate your money out, where you're no longer having to just take care of you and your immediate household. You can start to look for the generations to come, where you actually put the infinite banking into place, becoming your own banker, where you set up your trust. So you know that, and you allocate the funds to where the next generation will understand, just like Rockefeller did. Success leaves clues. When we operate from those 5 stages, and you know where you are, the people that's listening to me right now from those 5 stages, and I like to include that first one, because like you said, everybody don't have no money, but they alive and they woke up, so you have an opportunity.
That's right. That's right. Don't never go down and out.
Yes. And of course,
Okay.
I thought about the other one, subject to. That is the one I couldn't remember earlier. But
Okay.
subject to is another way. You don't need any money, but you do need to know how to negotiate. You do need to understand the ins and outs of real estate. But subject to is a person actually owns their property, clear and free, and you can decide to take over. Subject to, you could take over they become the banker basically for you. Or subject to, they may have a mortgage on there and you can take over that. You'll pay them and then they'll pay their mortgage. And you set that up with a shoot, I said it earlier. I can't even remember. Uh because you don't want to do it with the individual. A
Uh-huh.
title company. That is the word I'm searching for, y'all. A title company. You make
Okay.
sure that you put the title company in the middle. And like I said, I've never done the subject twos yet, but the person that I recommend you all to go study a subject two for is Pace Morby. Pace Morby is the person that I recommend people. If you are interested in doing something like subject two, go check him out.
Okay. Okay.
Let
Two.
me do share. I have a list here of things that I have done. So if you guys are interested and want to check me out, I bought homes on land contract. I've done conventional FHA. We've done a 203K FHA loan. I bought homes with cash. I've done a wholesale deal, quick claim deed, arbitrage, um, creative financing, and I've also done something called a 1031 exchange.
I've
So if you
heard of
guys,
that, but not familiar
uh-huh.
with it. Can you
Yep. If you,
explain it a little bit?
I can. So 1031 exchange is really a tax shelter. So my husband and I had two properties. We wanted to sell it, but we didn't want to have to pay the sales tax on it. And so what we did instead was we went with a title company that specializes in the 1031 exchange. We paid to buy into that program. Now it has strict timelines. But at the end of the day, we were able to take those two properties, the proceeds that we got from that, and we were able to buy four properties. So we took two properties and turned it into four using this 1031 exchange and didn't pay no taxes. No capital gains tax on it whatsoever. So again, it's a tax strategy. This is something else a misnomer that's out there. You're gonna buy real estate, you're gonna get rich. Cause that's what I thought. Like,
Uh-huh.
but no, this is not the way that it works. You need to own a job. I mean, have a job, a W-2, learn some skills, let some people pay you to learn skills. You're an entrepreneur. So now you are is really an entrepreneur. A lot of times at the lower level, you got a glorified job.
Yeah.
But let that job teach you skills. So you make money, you earn money in that area. Now the money that you earn, you need somewhere to invest the money. So now we use infinite banking. So whole life insurance. Shout out to Stephanie. You
Shout
got,
out.
yes, you got your whole life insurance where you can borrow money from that. That's how.
Yes.
So in 2018, we had spent over $200,000. So we didn't have no more money. Okay. And it took 15 years to accumulate all of that. So in 2019, I'm like, where we getting money from to start this Airbnb stuff? Well, 15 years earlier, I had did whole life insurance because I had a friend who was in the salon. She was a client of somebody else, and she like, Ann, I'm 20. You need to get life insurance. I'm like, okay. She like, you want term or whole? I'm like, explain it to me. I
Mhm.
said, well, give me something that I'm gonna get some money back on.
Need
So
that
when we
whole.
started that Airbnb, I was able to go pull money off that whole life insurance.
Yes.
Didn't even know that I had signed up for it. That ain't nothing but the grace of God, I'm telling you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when
A
you
lot of
take
times
that
we sitting
money,
on it. We
yes,
sit.
exactly. So you're working your job, earning money that you now go invest. When you put it into real estate is a tax shelter, you all. It is a way to build generational wealth because you not only get equity in the property, but you get cash flow too. But the problem is we move too fast and we start living off the cash flow and we don't give it time to accumulate because we quit our job or we quit the other thing that we were working in to earn money. So now you're living off that money and we just took everything out of sequence.
She's dropping so many nuggets for us. Man, I hope that you guys will reach out to her um, just to learn more. Of course, we can't cover it all in 1 hour. I hate it, but we can't. Make sure we look out. So, when can we expect your Detroit Forward Foundation to begin?
I'm working with a consultant. Every coach needs a coach, okay?
That's right. That's
So I'm
right.
working with a consultant now and we're finalizing things, getting it to the last stages. Yep,
Okay.
it's a nonprofit. So this is my first time ever doing a nonprofit. All my other businesses are for profit. So I'm
Now,
excited about it too.
and
Y'all
nonprofits
see I
take a
got
little
on my
work.
313 earrings.
Oh, I see them. I see them. Nonprofit takes some work, but it's
Yes.
another opportunity. I'll say that for you to get the resources that you need, right? Because oh, I could go on and on for that. We
Because it's
won't go
another
down.
tax shelter.
It's another tax shelter. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to pay tax if you do things right. It can work out well for you, right? You get
Yes.
that funding, get those contract bids. I know all too well. So I definitely want to know more about it when you start it. We definitely want to make sure we get you some support. You're definitely welcome to come back to Detroit Press Play. Guys, her website again is winbushsolutions.com. I stress to everybody that's watching to make sure you check out her website. If you're interested in learning more, reach out to her. I mean, you heard how much knowledge, and most people are gatekeepers, right? You shared a lot with us, so that meant a lot to me. You shared a lot. So I'm just excited for what's to come. And I'm proud of you too, because here you are, African American woman that has done well for herself. You don't see that too often. And when you do see it, they don't share. So you're going to be blessed just because of that. Yes. Do you have anybody you want to shout out, or anybody you need to send a message to right now on Detroit Press Play?
I just want to say, you know what? I'm happy to be here. I have one purpose, to please God and to serve his people. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge. We don't want to leave this earth with all of this left in us. We want to leave it all out on the field. We want to put it on the table. I don't want to leave here with nothing. So, nope, I don't have time to gatekeep. I'm going to give you what, but you can't learn it all in one sitting. I have said a lot. Some of it went, I'm certain, straight on out. And some of those nuggets, I'm hoping that you guys caught and can apply them to your lives, because it really will change your life. Hop on a call with me, visit my stand store, visit the website, begin to learn. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth, I am not good with social media. When you're out here building, it is difficult trying to do it all. So that's
Yes.
why I chose the route of coming on podcasts.
And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. You got some messages here. I don't want to close without reading them. Sybil D was saying she was learning. Um, I see Audrey Watkins joined, but it sounds like maybe late. But you can always go back. That's the good thing about streaming. You can always go back and review. She dropped a lot of nuggets. Sybil also says it was a great interview and nuggets were definitely shared. I just hate that we only do an hour, but I want to bring you back because I feel like there's some more that we need to talk about. I'm so interested. I'm in awe. I am so interested. There were a lot of people watching and chiming in. Some didn't say anything, but they definitely wanted to tag people. And so I don't know if they joined us, but a lot of people said that they were learning. They were definitely learning. I know we had Marquita on. We had quite a few people on. And, I was just hoping for more questions. I'll check with YouTube to see if we had some, and I'll definitely be reaching out to you.
Sounds good. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help. I just want
Yes,
to share. And that's the thing I want to say to your audience before we leave. Because knowledge is familiar to you, it doesn't mean it's not valuable to someone else. You
that's
think it's not valuable because you do it every day, you know it, you operate in it, but someone else is waiting to learn your skill set. They
that's
want to
right.
learn what you know. So get out here and share.
Share because it's enough out here for everybody. People hold on for whatever reason. It's enough customers for everybody. It's enough money out here for everybody. Go ahead and share. God loves that. When you share with others, watch how he blesses you with more. Right? You hold on tight to it. Ain't nothing gonna get in just because you ain't letting nothing out.
Mhm.
um, I see Alicia Dennis said powerful topic. Yes, it is. And we're all about learning, growing. You're never too old to learn. I learn
Mhm.
something every day.
Mhm.
So again, I thank you. We have Miss Ann Winbush. Guys, reach out to her. We have another message. Yes, Audrey says for sure, share. That's right. You can't be a gatekeeper. Can't
No,
be a
not at all.
gatekeeper. I
Mm-mm.
appreciate you so much, Miss Winbush. I'll be connecting with you more because I'm interested. I can
Thank
always get
you.
more. All
And I
right.
got, we haven't even scratched the surface on, like, I know so many, so I'm just so happy. Like, keep me structured, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
I know so much. We didn't even talk about the hair industry. We didn't talk about the boutique industry. It's so many different things. Yeah,
Yes.
so Yep.
So she got a lot of skills. Ain't nothing wrong with a lot of skills. Marquita said, thanks, ladies. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. I love things like this where we can educate and help other people. That's what life is all about. Don't forget it. And before you go, can you shout out Detroit Press Play for me?
Detroit Press Play is in
Yeah,
the house. Y'all
that's
tune
right.
in and watch it.
That's right.
Detroit
Thank
Press
you.
Play.
Thank you so much, Ann Winbush, y'all. Make sure you go to that website, reach out to her. Powerful woman. Make sure that you're checking into her, okay? And we're going to help her with that nonprofit too. We're going to support you because you're going to need volunteers.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. Until next Tuesday, 7 o'clock. See you later. Peace.
Peace.